Welcome back again. I'm going to show another type of puzzle that will show a couple of different techniques on how to solve it. It is GCBPR28. You have to ID me, find me. So it's typical with a lot of my puzzles, the title can definitely be a hint, and here ID is here definitely a hint. And then the puzzle itself, here are 4 caches. They should help you find this one, and it gives 4 GC codes. Now, you can of course look up these GC codes, but you will pretty soon find out that they appear to be pretty random. There's very little correlation. The titles don't look very appealing. So something else must be going on. In addition, if we look at the hint, I tried to make it 3, but that didn't work. That is also, of course, a hint because, well, it's listed under a hint, right? So in this case, if I see the word 3, then my first instinct is what 3 words? If you don't know what it is, I will show that in a second. Now, why is it a 4 difficulty? Because there's actually a few steps that you need to do, and there's definitely some puzzle knowledge that you here need to have to solve this. So let's first start with the first step is the ID part. You have to ID me to find me. This is where the knowledge comes in that you have to know that every geocaching code like this also has an ID. And it is a weird conversion system base 21, I believe, with some letters excluded that could be ambiguous, like I, O, and stuff like that. So never see an O in a geocaching. It's always 0. You never see an I. It's always a 1. So when they do this conversion, that is that weird conversion technique. Fortunately, there's a website that can convert that. And here is the website. It's the geocaching toolbox, and it has the geocache code ID conversion. And if you put the GC code in there, then it will calculate the ID, and that is this number. So we can similar, we can take the second one, and we can put it in there, and we get second number, 71205. This is the part where it says you have to ID me. It can also do the other way around. So in case that you have the ID, it can come up and give you GC code. So it can do the reverse as well. So this is a clear mapping that we can do, and we can do that for all 4. So, but now what to do with it? Well, that's the next step that you come in. So if you get all the 4 numbers, then what you have to realize here is that these are actually just alphabetically encoded, meaning that there's some repetitions in here. You can often see that if you do by 2 digits, so there's lots of 1s and 2s in there. That is often a hint that we're encoding just in a plain alphabet. You see a lot of 1s and 2s. That's just the way the alphabet works. If you do the letters for common words, there's no 26 letters, so that's where the 1 and 2 come from. So this is an easy tool to convert that, where you can put in all the 4 numbers and say, for example, decrypt automatically, and it will try to make numbers out of it using some common techniques. Now, we don't see anything that immediately looks like a good solution. I have here the check says that there's no separator between the numbers because we don't really know, is this, for example, B, A, E, or is this the 21st letter of the alphabet, and then the 5th letter, and then the 15th letter of the alphabet. So that would be U, E, O. So that's what you see done here, U, O, K. So this doesn't really give us a good solution. There's fortunately a second one, which is the decrypt option. So this is the automatically when it tries to do a best guess. If we do decrypt, it gives us a full decoding set. Now, we immediately see already some things come out here. We see here the word book. That looks pretty promising. We see here the word gates. That looks pretty promising. It looks like it's almost able to make ageless, but yeah, it doesn't quite get there. So, but book feels pretty good. You see a lot of things with book, and if I scroll down this list, the solution is in here somewhere. I will tell you that, but it will try all unique combinations of this, and if your text is not too long, it will see there's 1,200 different ones. The right solution is in here, but that might be a little bit much to go through. So what we're going to do is we're going to put spaces in the ones that we know that we think it's book. So you see now book is 2, 15 is O, O 11, and now again we try decrypt automatically. And you see it already gets much better because now book is the given part, right, based on the thing. But the other part, we see here stoves, but no good middle word. So we could go with like coding out stoves, but in this case, I will just choose to go one more step, and that is to go back to decoding the other ones. So I put everything else on the next line, as you see here. And so now I have book decoded, and I will try again to decrypt all. So now I do the second one. So now I get all combinations where book is kind of sort of a given. So it will, this will now reduce it to, at the end, we now only have 360 combinations. So a lot less to search for with this scenario, with book being the right thing. Again, doesn't quite give it right. So I feel, however, though, that if I look through this, that gate feels pretty good. So I have gate and gates. I'm not quite sure which one is the right answer. Nothing else from this list really feels like a valid word. And remember, because of the 3, I'm thinking of looking for 3 words, right? The what 3 words. So it allows me to take some liberties in the guessing. So I'm going to go to the next one, and now I separate out gate. So like this, and then I tell it to decrypt automatically. And now you see it comes up with 3 valid words: book, gates, stoves. So even though I did only gate here, it figured out that the only right solution was to take this as well and then leave the next one. So book, gate, stoves looks like a valid. So let's try that and put it in what 3 words: book, gate, stoves, and it will correctly decode to a location right here. Now I typically use the navigate function to then coordinates if I use this website. And if I do that, it will give me a Google Maps location, as you see here. And here at the top, I have a decimal location of how it decodes, and I can try that with the checker. So that's how you solve this puzzle. A few steps that you have to do, a few assumptions, and a few pieces of knowledge that you need to have to solve it, hence the difficulty rating. I hope you enjoyed the solve. More solves, of course, will come up in other videos. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, or if you would like to see next ones. That way you will get notified. Thank you.